into the Danny, March 6th, 2026. What the hell's that? That's a big bug. Oh, March 6th, 2026. Every time I come into the forest, it's the same thing. To the Celebration Trail System, same thing. I always have to encounter wildlife. But we're coming up here to Spring Lake, the lake I like to walk by and talk about things. March 6th, 2026, into the Danny, and today we are going to be talking about the late great Adam the Woo. I believe this is the 4th video I make on him since his untimely and unfortunate passing. Tomorrow is his celebration of life out in Anaheim, California. So, being that after tomorrow, I probably, or not probably, but I won't be making any more videos on him, at least for the time being, because December 22nd will always be Adam the Woo Day, at least on this channel, which sadly was the day of his passing. Yeah, we are gonna talk a little bit about Adam. It's not gonna be anything that's gonna be too organized or you know, I'm not gonna list anything like I usually like to do. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on him, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. And look at that. Look at that. A rainbow. A rainbow as I sit and talk about the person who was the #1 inspiration for me to start this channel. And I'm someone that I believe in signs from God and from heaven, so there you have it. Tomorrow is Adam's celebration of life, and even though it's been over 3 months now since his passing, I still quite can't believe that he's gone. In preparation for this video, I went to Adam's channel. I hadn't done that in a while, and I decided, let me watch some of his videos. And yeah, it's still very, very surreal that he's actually gone at the young age of 51. The video that I turned on and watched was one of his overseas trips this past year. He was in Paris, and he was staying in a part of Paris, in a hotel at least, where he could have a view of the Eiffel Tower. And it was funny, it's the video where he's wearing the Mona Lisa shirt with Mona Lisa blowing the bubble pop chewing gum. And you can tell that he just had a moment when he woke up, like kind of like, wow, like from a bird feed store, from working retail like he did, starting his channel in his mid to late 30s, and you know, seeing where he got to was something that, you know, you could just tell that he was having a moment, you know, kind of like, wow, look, this is where I'm at, you know, here in Paris, waking up with a view of the Eiffel Tower, and I'm off to explore. One of the particularly cool things about that Paris video that I was watching and reminiscing on was when he visited the Louvre. If you've never been there, it's absolutely stunning. One of the coolest places I've ever been. And you can tell when he walked in there, like most people, he was blown away by the sheer magnitude of art and history within the structure. Like I've stated in this channel, if you were to stare at each individual painting in the Louvre, I think for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, it would take you 3 months. That's how big it is. But yeah, it was so cool watching him last year do the international stuff, even going to places like Belize and Mexico, Korea, South Korea, obviously South Korea, Where else did he go? Let's see if I can name most of the places he went. Belize, Mexico, South Korea. Don't tell me. I know Canada was in there, but I think he's been to Canada before his international trips of last year. What other place? Don't tell me, don't tell me. Did France, obviously, with Paris. He did Disneyland Paris. Don't tell me. Just kind of going around the map here. England, oh boy. London. The Jack the Ripper tour was so cool. It was so cool watching him do that. Which brings me to my next point. Here's the lake after Spring Lake. I don't know if it's called Spring Lake 2, but super fun area. This is the area where there are some homes and stuff here. Beautiful little neighborhood here in Spring Lake. Which brings me to another point, as I was explaining, that I don't want these videos to seem exploitative. Let me give you an example. I was not Adam's friend. I was a fan of Adam. Let's take some recent examples of famous celebrities or known figures that have passed away. Let's take Hulk Hogan. I am sure if you search the internet, there are still fans of his making videos, multiple videos of Hulk Hogan. I was a fan of Anthony Bourdain. I am a fan of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, on his podcast, has spoken multiple times of Anthony Bourdain. I know they were friends. I don't think they were best friends. I don't think they were close friends, but they were friends. But I think before they were friends, Joe was a fan of his. Joe, to this day, still talks about Anthony Bourdain on his channel. When Robin Williams passed, people still talk about Robin Williams. Kobe Bryant, same thing. So that's what I want to accomplish in this fourth video. I want to convey not only how much of a fan I was of Adam, but how much of an inspiration he was to me. Ultimately, I don't really care what people think, so I'm going to post as many videos of Adam as I want. But I understand that it being the celebration of his life, tomorrow, for the foreseeable future, I probably won't post any directly about Adam. I've already mentioned him several times in other videos and things that remind me of him. You know, and it's just something that, you know, you can't really get over. It's you don't understand why it happened, and then you start wanting to blame things. And there's one thing that I'm not gonna say that I do want to blame it on. Done some research on it, and it's, you know, let's just say that I'd rather not say it and just leave it at that. I know I'm bouncing around a lot on this video and I'm kind of just going from topic to topic, but I didn't want to really write anything down. I wanted it to come straight from the heart. So yeah, you know, it's the way it is. And again, so, you know, another video that I watched of his recently too, and I think I mentioned this in the last Epcot video, was the the New Year's Epcot video where he goes on New Year's Eve. If you haven't seen that, please watch it. It might have been 2024 New Year's Eve or 2023, but I know it's one of the ones where he was already living here in Celebration, and it's absolutely hilarious. He's definitely getting frustrated and upset, even though Adam would always try to hide those kinds of things. Yeah, it's hilarious because it's so busy, it's so crazy in Epcot that he can't barely walk. And then the funny part is that Disney decided in every country they were going to throw a rave party, which is the most anti-Walt Disney thing you could do. But yeah, super funny video. And I know I've mentioned this on other videos where I talk about Adam, but it's not like, you know, what I loved about Adam's channel was that he really, he never got overtly upset from what I saw, I didn't watch every single one of his videos. He put up thousands of videos, but he always, let you know what he was feeling. Like I remember one video, he went out to a concert, a punk rock concert. I forgot what city, and they were being jerks to him about filming equipment. He had the smallest little camera ever, so it was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, he was upset about that. And I remember when he got banned from Disney, I went back and watched that video when he was upset about that. And so yeah, just very rare to find those kind of authentic people on YouTube nowadays. Authenticity is what made his channel. It's what, and real authenticity, right? Like I remember 3-4 years. I'm gonna kind of go random here, but I remember 3 or 4 years ago, he had a few videos where he talked openly about how he wanted to have a family, how he wanted to find that person to settle down with, and that was always something that I loved about him. Like he really wore his insecurities on screen. And I've said it in multiple videos of Adam now, and I'm going to say it again. He would have made a fantastic father, and that's one of the most difficult things to think about, that he didn't have a chance to have that little Adam the Woo. Another thing that I'm going to miss about Adam's channel was massive. It was 700 and something thousand YouTube subscribers just to the Daily Woo. I think the Adam the Woo, his second channel, had over 300,000. If you add up all his social medias, he's over 1 million. But yet, people like World of Micah, people like Tampa J, who were fans, who openly admit they were fans of Adam, became good friends with him. And not only that, but Adam would promote their channel. He didn't have to do that. That didn't benefit him in any way, but he did because he was a good-hearted person. A lot of YouTubers out there, even some that I know, they don't do that. They're so selfish, and they don't even have a quarter, not even less than a quarter, less than a tenth of what Adam's channel has, and they won't even do that for you. So it goes to show you what a good-hearted person Adam was. Yeah, so that's another thing I'm going to miss of him, was his generosity. I remember when I spoke to him about Dragon Con in Atlanta, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm going to be out there. And I was like, yeah, I really want to start my own channel, etc. He was like, oh, you should. So he was always very, he never looked at you and was like, nah, you can never do that, So recently, I watched Tampa J's tribute video to Adam. It talks about Adam's passion for baseball, how they would always go to the opening day game for the Tampa Bay Rays. For those that don't know, I played baseball all through high school and into college. I redshirted in college, and then I stopped. I quit. I thought Tampa J's video was excellent. A lot of good memories. Shared some clips of him and Adam that he hadn't released. So yeah, that was another connection with Adam that I had, was the whole baseball thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember his videos. He got to see I believe it was all 32 Major League Baseball games. And not only did he see them because he's a Tampa Bay Rays fan, he got to see all 32 Major League Baseball stadiums with the Tampa Bay Rays playing in them. So awesome videos. I remember when he took a tour of an on-field tour. Let me see. I hope I get this right. It's either the Cleveland Guardians, should be the Indians, or it was either the Cleveland Guardians field or the Texas Rangers. It was one of the two that he got an on-field tour of. So just, going back memory lane, watching his videos. I had to take off my jacket, getting a little warm out here. So even though it's like 70 something, not really too much wind. There's a little wind coming off the lake, but yeah, the whole baseball tour stadiums was awesome. I remember another video, he went to Canada and he visited all of the original Rambo sites in British Columbia. I'm forgetting the name of the town, but go look at that video. Great video. Got to see the street in the beginning where Rambo takes off on the dirt bike when he breaks out of the jail. What else? I mean, the Goonies video is awesome. Got to go to the Goonies house. Went to the Poltergeist house, which Tampa Jay said that he regrets not going with Adam because Adam invited him. You know, it's like crazy. You know, like Adam. You know, Tampa Jay and World of Micah, by their admission, they were fans of Adam, and he was still generous enough to feature him on his channel. And now both of those guys, I know World of Micah's over 50,000 subscribers. I know Tampa Jay's well over 100,000 subscribers, and he quit his job last year. So like, the generosity of this guy was off the charts. And yeah, his love, his celebration. In celebration, you could do a video in the middle of the woods, and someone's either coming out with a bike, riding a bike, or they're walking their dog. No doubt about it. Another video series of Adam that now watching his dad's channel, JWW on the Move. And again, I want to say this again, his live stream will be on his father's channel, JWW on the Move, tomorrow at 3 p.m. I believe that's 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's JWW on the Move, and tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, it was super cool watching him and his dad get to visit the Field of Dreams. I love the series of Adam retracing where he was born in Mississippi, all the way how they made their way all the way down to Orlando with his father. His trips with his mom to Ecuador were super cool. Ecuador looks like a cool country to visit. He was there for about 2 weeks, so that was awesome. Watching how he got to make those memories with his parents were awesome. I mean, back to the international stuff, going to Italy. I mean, come on, Italy. He did it all. He did Rome, he did Florence, he did southern Italy, he did Naples. He did all the Roman ruins in Pompeii. He did the Roman ruins in Rome. He did the Colosseum, the Vatican. So even though his life was cut short, in my opinion, man, he really lived it. He really, really lived it, and he made some unbelievable memories. Yeah, you know, and when it comes to his celebration of life for tomorrow, I just hope they have a good time. I hope there's nothing that happens that, you know, is going to sour the moment. Just looking to go down, you know, seeing those people, all those people that he had such a huge influence on out there, fans alike, people he met throughout the years, acquaintances, friends, family. I already watched JWW on the Move's video, his father's channel, on their trip out to Anaheim. Great video, by the way. Really captured the airport. Lord knows I love the airport. So just looking forward to it tomorrow. I hope they feature. What I like is that they made the font of the celebration of life pin or the flyer or whatever, the internet, the online flyer, they made it the font of Back to the Future, which, if you guys don't know, Adam had a original Back to the Future poster, which this thing has to be worth $20,000, like at least $20,000, maybe more now that he owned it. This is one of the coolest things he had. He had an original Back to the Future poster signed, I mean, by everybody involved in that film. He even got the guy who designed the original Back to the Future poster to sign it, which that's a deep cut right there. I mean, obviously he got Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, Tom Wilson. Shout out to Tom Wilson, who was good friends with Adam. Met him through the convention circuit. If you guys don't know, the reason why I love conventions, starting with MegaCon, is because of Adam. Watching Adam's videos at the conventions. Conventions are super fun. It's like a giant party for everything: movies, comic book, anime, horror. I'm there for the horror in the movies, but you know, it's just a giant fun party. You can throw gaming in there, nostalgia. But shout out to Tom Wilson. His tribute video also was beautiful for Adam. If you guys don't know who Tom Wilson is, he's the guy that played Biff in Back to the Future and is also a stand-up comedian, along with other films that he's been in. But he's most known for playing Biff in Back to the Future, and he's a fantastic actor in my opinion. I know he was really hurt by Adam's passing. They have a lot of videos together, and yeah. The last thing I want to mention before I end the video, holy smokes. Wow. That's a hawk. Yep, that's a hawk that just got a fish. Wow, the duality of life. I come out here when I start the video, there's a beautiful rainbow, and then here comes this, I presume it's a hawk. Yeah, that's a hawk, and it just straight up snatched a fish. Wow. The duality of life. Either way, Adam the Woo, I know I'm not the only channel, but will live forever on this channel. I even purchased the little Yeti monster, the little the Bigfoot, the Bigafoot. I do have that hanging in my desk right now. Once I get my new car, I'm gonna hang it in my new car. I was hanging in my old car, but either way, tomorrow we celebrate Adam. I can't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. At the end of the day, a lot of times when I get sort of down or I don't feel like doing a video, or and he would express this too. You know, he would talk about how sometimes he just didn't have the inspiration to do a video. And for those that don't know, his father recently said he thinks his longest streak that Adam went every day making a video was 500 days in a row. So if you think you're dedicated to something, look at Adam the Woo, because that's dedication. Take it from me. His famous saying, and this is by what his friends would say to them, is keep going. 2 words, keep going. So that's what we're all going to keep doing. Just keep going. I'll see you guys tomorrow.